Welcome, Jet fans, to another episode of the Jets Life podcast. Big show today. NFL draft is finally over. We're going to break down all those picks. Jets going with 9 picks, leave with 8 players. What's been graded out is a very successful draft overall. We have a special guest joining the show here. He'll be joining in at around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is. So 30 minutes from now, we'll have Ian from JetsCentral joining our conversation. Just so we get to the real meat of everything, let's start with the back half of the draft. Let's go into the players that Jets were able to pick on day 3, so that by the time Ian gets on here, we can really get into the meat of the draft, which was the top of the order, which was the first 4 players picked. Obviously, David Bailey, second overall, Sadiq at 16, Omar Cooper at 30, and D'Angelo Pons at 50. But before we get into those, let's start with, like I said, with day 3. To kick off the 4th round, you had Raiders trade for Jermon McCoy at 101, and the Jets were on the clock there shortly thereafter. At 103 overall, selecting Darrell Jackson. Dom, what were your thoughts on the Jets getting bigger up front with the Florida State defense tackle?
So I didn't hear much about the kid, but after hearing a lot of people talk about the guy, I mean, the guy's a huge – he's like a 6'5" wrecking ball. I know he played at Florida State, did a little bit of research there. I mean, he's no slouch. He could definitely plug that hole. You know what I'm saying? I think that was – huh? But I think that was – honestly, you know what? They went right inside the trenches again. I love going in the trenches. You know, you can never have enough people there, you know. So I was happy for another run stuffer in that situation, especially with, you know, you have Tanzel. What was it? Tanzel. Who was that kid we brought in? I forgot his name from Tennessee.
Devondre Sweat.
Yeah, Devondre Sweat. I mean, that guy who knows what the hell. He's like another 600 pounds. So he might be gassed out of the one or 2 plays. Bring this kid in. Just rotate the balance, man. You need to do that. You need to have that set, you know. I like the pick overall, though.
Yeah, I think listen, the Jets had some needs up front at the defensive line. A lot of the players that are under contract right now, Juwan Briggs, Harrison Phillips, Devondre Sweat, a lot of those guys are under contract for
a year or 2.
1 year. I think Sweat's under contract for 2 years. So you're kind of getting ahead of the curve a little bit there, which is something the Jets severely lack doing a lot of times. Get ahead of the curve on that. Bring in a guy that's, you're picking on day 3 that's considered a developmental guy, but he's got the beef. Definitely going to help in run support. A couple years ago, he did have a little bit of pass rush juice, but that hasn't been as apparent in the last season with Florida State. But then again, the entire Florida State program kind of fell apart, which is something to be said about a lot of the players the Jets picked on day 3. But again, I'm with you. Jets defensive line needed an extra body. They got one here. I think it was a definite need going into the draft that was just probably not as big as some others. So happy with the pick. Day 3 flyer on a guy with some juice. Definitely a good ad. Then we scroll down a little bit, and you get to 110 overall. I was on Dane's show actually when this was going on live. Saw the Jets traded up, scrolling to find the details of the trade. So I got a little bit ahead of it on their show. I didn't say anything. I didn't want to ruin the surprise. But when I saw it was Cade Klubnik, gotta tell you, wasn't overly thrilled. Here's a guy that, very similar to the other guys we've had conversations about, Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller, just guys that did not step up when the lights were brightest. And, you saw a player that just completely fell apart, a guy that was considered a first, second round pick by many, and his stock completely tumbles. We picked a 110, but there were many draft boards that had him in the 200 range. So it was definitely a reach for a player that, let's be real, best case scenario, looking at it right now, career backup. Can he be the backup quarterback for whoever we pick in 2027? That would be based on what I've seen out of him, and this is even before last season. I just never saw it with him. Similar with Ty Simpson, I just didn't see it. But then it was a short period of time. Never saw it with Cade Klubnik, but if he comes into this and he's a good mind to have in the quarterback room, that doesn't hurt, especially if you're going to have a rookie quarterback going into the following season. Tell me your thoughts as it happened live. It was the first couple of picks that we didn't see with each other. So what were your thoughts when the Jets got Klubnik?
I mean, so when they made that trade, I see the Jets traded up. I for sure thought it was going to be a quarterback, but it was not the quarterback I thought they were moving up for. I thought that for sure they were going after Nuss at that point. So when they came out with Cade Klubnik, I was like, okay. I mean, listen, it's a 4th-round quarterback. It's a dart. That's all it is. Like you said, like I said, I don't see he's not going to take over the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's up to Frank Reich to coach him up. Maybe there is something there. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he could be a second stringer, like a backup, a high-end backup. Who knows? Great for the quarterback room. I mean, the kid's a smart kid. He hits the books all the time. He sounds like he's an alpha, so he's going to go into that room with juiced up and all that. Listen, at 110, I didn't like him there. Maybe further down in the 4th, maybe our last pick of that 4th, I would have loved it. But listen, he's in the room. He's a Jet. I'm rooting for him. And
I hear you there. Obviously, all 80s players want them to all be contributors long term to some degree. But again, I got to tell you from my eyes, I just never saw it with Cade. But that's just me. Obviously, some people did. Some people saw something after his couple of years. And you look at his transcript. I mean, he was a highly touted player coming out of high school, 3 state championships. I mean, there's a reason why he went to Clemson. He was a top-rated player. There's a reason why after, DJ Uyunglele, whatever his name was, there's a reason after he came in there, you saw Cade come in there and take over, and a lot of people felt good about Clemson, even coming into the season. Some had him, as college football playoff candidates. I mean, never saw that personally, but yeah, again, just a player that fell apart when the lights shine brightest. At best,
his 2024 season was freaking remarkable. I mean, it was really that good. I mean, like you said, they were projecting him to be a 1st-round quarterback. But then again, just like 4 other quarterbacks, just kind of had 1st-round talent, and all went day 3, basically. Outside of Carson Beck. Was Allard a day 3 pick too? Yeah, he was. He was a 3rd rounder. Oh no,
he was a 3rd round. That's day 2.
Second day, yeah. Yeah, that was kind of weird, but
yeah, all good, which I mean, also thank God for that. I there's conversations Jets try and trade back into the 3rd round. I assume it was for Allard. Listen, I wanted nothing to do with any of these quarterbacks. I would have been more than happy if the Jets just stuck to their board and went with players that are going to contribute in 2026. At 110, I would have been more than happy with Connor Lew right there. He was on the board. He ended up going at 128, which is the Jets pick that we ended up trading to Cincinnati. It's a player that could have been an eventual starting center. He was a player I've said thousands of times should have been a 2nd, 3rd round pick, the latest, if it weren't for his injury. He tumbled in the draft because of that. And that's a player you take a risk on. Not a player that apparently there were some injuries at Klubnik. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. That is something that Darren Mougey brought up in his press conference. Listen, I'm not gonna say what went wrong. I obviously don't know. There's some talent there, but is it enough talent to where I think he's an eventual starter for this team? Definitely. I just don't see it. I don't think he's that guy. Let's move along, though. If you're in the chat or if you're watching, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We have Ian from JetsCentral joining us in about 20 minutes or so. So stick around. That'll be a fun conversation. That's when we'll get into the top of the draft. So apologize for hitting the back end of the draft right now. More of the boring picks. We'll get to the real juice in a few moments here. One more thing on the Cade Klubnik thing. So when I was on with Dane, there was a lot of concerns about the Jets overpaying in the trade up. And when you look at the Rich Hill trade value chart, the Jets actually paid exactly what it would cost, 35 points to trade up to 110. When you consider the pick we got back, I think we got back pick 199 in that trade.
The end of the fifth, right?
Sixth round.
Sixth rounder.
So we end up getting back 199. That leveled out the trade. So from a trade value, the trade we didn't overpay, but I think when you consider the player that we got there, 200 slots ahead, that's where I'm most disappointed. I was happy with the trade. Obviously, you trade up, get a player you want, but that wasn't the player that I wanted. So we'll see what happens there. But let's move along. So another trade up scenario here. The Jets were at 199. Like I had mentioned, they went to 188, trading one of the seventh round picks in exchange for the pick. So they go up to 188 and get Omar Cooper, which.
Hey, it's another Cooper, man.
It's another Cooper. We got plenty of them in this draft.
Big boy.
A big boy has a little bit of an attitude. I think there was a video circulated on social media about this guy. A bunch of Miami players asking who was the nastiest player on the offense or on the team, and his name popped up as being one of the nastier guys. So the first thing I thought about is, you lost John Simpson and that mentality, that attitude a little bit. This guy could be someone that can eventually turn into that and be like your John Simpson of the offensive line. But again, he's a sixth-round pick. Obviously, some development needed. It was plus on the consensus board. The Jets were able to get him. I think he was considered to be kind of in that fifth-round grade, fourth-round grade, more fifth round, and Jets were able to get him late in the sixth round.
Value.
Good value. Again, when you look at the draft, the way it really works is like once you get to the fourth round, the success rate's like only like 3 to 5%. It's not much. So, you're definitely throwing darts you're aiming for bullseye instead of just trying to get it on the board. But here we go. Jets are able to get.
But if you laugh, like this could be one of those type of situations or a player that gets chosen in the sixth round with tremendous upside, right? Coach him up real good. Maybe he could down the line be a starter for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're missing on our later picks. We don't have enough of those. We need them. And I think we got a few of them here. Not a few, but maybe a couple.
The one that I'll say, obviously the Klubnik pick was one that, we all kind of got up in arms about, whatever. It is what it is. But the remaining picks, and we'll get into the last pick of the draft for them in a few moments here. But Dow Jackson, I see the vision. He's a run stopper. The Jets are trying to stop the run this year. Don't forget, this team was terrible at stopping the run last season.
They were.
Big reason why they didn't have any interceptions. Teams didn't really have to throw it. And when they did, the linebacking unit wasn't good enough in coverage, and obviously the safeties were a mess. The defense entirely was a mess, so no interceptions there. But what they did was, let's stop the run first and foremost. Let's rush the passer off the edge with Will McDonald and David Bailey. Obviously, we'll get into that in a few moments. And let's just beef up this front unit, front seven, as much as possible. Would have loved to see them go somewhere at linebacker, somewhere in this draft. That was definitely something. I know Jacob Rodriguez got picked one pick ahead of us. CJ Allen was there. I do love the D'Angelo Ponds pick, but at some point in time, I would have liked to see them
go after a linebacker.
Put a pick in with a linebacker, but they're gonna roll with Sherwood. They're gonna roll with Demario Davis and take it from there. That's another reason why the Reese pick made a lot of sense.
We also Muyaga. We also have what's that other?
Those guys,
fillers.
It's the same linebacking unit last year, except for Demario Davis. I wasn't crazy about them. Let's get to the end of the draft. VJ Payne. Jets need a safety. We all know that. And another player with a lot of plus value here. NFL doesn't value safeties. I wonder if that's a big reason here. I don't understand the reasoning here. I think there's some confusion as to what he can do in the NFL, whether he can be primarily a safety, or with his size and his athleticism, you move him over to corner. That's something that's, out there for a player of his caliber. I think the Jets need safety help. I know they're already toying with the idea of Minkah playing nickel, and I don't think that makes sense, especially. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense with Pons there now, especially if you still have Brownlee out there. Put this guy where he was successful in college. Let him play safety and take out there. But a good way to wrap up the draft.
For instance, Minkah, right? And you have, who was it, Malachi Moore. You brought in, what was it, Benton? Is the other kid?
Dane Benton.
And Dane Benton, and now you got VJ
Belton.
That's it. So you got a whole bunch of, unprovens. And then we bring Cisco back too.
Yeah. I don't know what the heck they were doing there.
Oh, I got you. But what I'm trying to say is, like, you have the leadership experience with Minkah in the backfield. Let him mold these guys. And this is why I was so against them not even picking up a linebacker. Like, if you would have picked up a young linebacker like a CJ Allen, or even, if they had moved up to get Rodriguez. I mean, imagine him in a room with Mario Davis for a year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that goes a long way, dude. That goes a long way. And it's basically, I mean, hopefully they could find something with Sherwood again with Mario Davis. Who knows? But it is what it is.
I kind of thought the way this draft worked. I mean, this kind of downfall of not having a third round pick, and I know we had four first and second round picks. I understand that's all fine and dandy. But part of the reason of not having a third round pick and why I thought it was so critical is that, you weren't going to fill all the needs. We all understood that they needed a pass catcher. We all understood they were on edge at second overall. And then we knew to some degree sprinkled in, whether it be a guard, whether it be a corner, whether it be a safety or a linebacker. You knew this. And even a secondary pass catcher. I was sometimes threw out there, go 16, a wide receiver, and then go 40, 44, another wide receiver with a linebacker, nickel, someone sprinkled in at 33. So out of all those priorities, I kind of viewed linebacker as being the one that they may not want to attack because they already have so much money invested in the position. But I mean, you're an offseason away potentially from, cutting Sherwood. Yeah, cutting Sherwood. And if it's a new regime in 2027, which is possible, obviously, possibly cut and wait with Demario Davis contract. I don't know the numbers on that, but I'm pretty sure they can get out of it this year with a little bit of a hit, but nothing significant. I don't want to already cut the guy. Hasn't even played a game for us yet in his third tenure with us.
But not
this time. Not on this new contract. But yeah, that's kind of where I would land with it. Is that would have loved the linebacker. So would also loved the safety earlier. But
for sure.
I thought the Jets did a really good job.
I thought so too. And
minus the Cade Klubnik pick, I think overall was a pretty damn solid draft.
It was. And this kid, BJ Payne, supposedly, like in a lot of mocks, he was going in the 5th round.
Yeah, he was up there too.
Right. So another great value pick. I mean, listen, let's see how we're talking great about every pick we have. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now it matters when they're on the field, and that's it. Can they get this team over that hump? Listen, I know we ain't going to win the division or nothing like that, but I'm just tired of not watching good football. We need to see something here, and this is it. Like, it has to be. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, listen, I know we made a tremendous upgrade at quarterback. I mean, people don't realize it. Geno Smith is way, way better than friggin' Justin Fields and Brady Cook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at that level, let's say he comes in at the league at 20, like 20th ranked quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I mean, we're looking at wins. He could find wins with you. He could definitely throw the ball downfield. He ain't afraid to throw downfield. Now, he's going to make a lot of boneheaded decisions, but it is what it is, brother.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that, but then you also got to say the same kind of conversation about the head coach. Hey,
listen, year one, he's got to prove himself, and that's it. All right, he has one more year to prove it. If he can't prove it, he's out the door next year, and that's just it. You know.
Well, yeah, but that kind of goes with your whole philosophy of if Geno has a good year, but the coach also has to, he has to do something as well. There's a lot that he left on the table this last season. Call it tanking, call it whatever you want, but he put us in position to be tanking because we started off 0-7. And
I mean, if you just think of the coach upgrades they've made, coaching right off the bat, it's in a better situation. I mean, you brought in Dunbar, you brought in Frank Reich. I mean, it's so much better. You know what I'm saying? Now he's coaching his defense. He bring in, what was that guy from Miami he brought in?
Duker. He's
Duker.
nothing.
Yeah, I got you. But these are, you know what I'm saying? These are different pieces now, different looks, different defense. I mean, listen, bro, they flipped this team. I mean, think about how many new starters we have from when Salah left till right now. Look at that team. Tell me how many starters Salah had on that team right now that's starting next year. That's something to talk about. Because I just thought that team had a losing.
That always happens, Tom. When a new regime takes over, there's always big turnover within 2 years. It's about picking the right guys and getting the right bodies in there.
It was really 1 year. The turnover was really 1 year.
No, it was 2 years.
Well, if you think, this is the second year now, second draft. But even last year, how many new starters were there?
But it was still the core that Salah picked, though. I mean, that's
and then he just got rid of it.
Don't forget, he went in there and said this roster was great the way it was.
What is he going to say?
Huh?
What is he supposed to say? My team stinks.
There's ways to be coy about it. There's coach speak. There's GM speak. There's ways to go about it. He pointed the finger at Salah.
He did. I mean, listen. He tried. Listen. Once he realized his team sucked, and he wasn't doing a great job about it. There was change. It had to be major change, and it was basically flipping this whole fucking team around. And that's
I get it.
You know,
and they did do that, as many regimes do when they get into the early phase of their program. You can't really do much the first off season because a lot of times you're repairing the mess that was left behind, which there was a big mess left behind. A lot of dead cap.
Well, that'd be all gone next year. Well, 80% of it would be gone.
Most of it, yeah. I don't think they have much dead cap next year.
I think this is just
Fields was supposed to be the big number, but they traded him. So.
Oh, what about Quinnen? Does he have some dead cap next year?
Sauce has a little bit. Forget if Quinnen had a little bit, but yeah, like I said, there's not much. Not 80 million, 90 million, or whatever the heck they had going into this year.
Last year, right here. That was Aaron Rodgers. Goodbye. That's it. We're done.
Aaron Rodgers. Who's the other one? Those some big.
Was it Mosley? Do we have dead money with Mosley?
That's right. We have some Mosley.
Team players from 10 years ago too. Bobby Bonilla.
I think Tyrod Taylor has some dead cap this year because of the void year that they put on his contract. Which, why are you putting void years on a guy that Anyway,
you think they're bringing in another quarterback?
They brought in Russell Wilson for a conversation.
Was that real? I thought it was all bullcrap.
The Savannah Banana, Mr. Savannah Banana himself, coming in for. Listen. Here's my thing. Okay. If you drafted Klubnik 110 overall, why are we playing this game then? All right, Geno's your starter. Roll to the season, and
so your quarterback
let Klubnik play. Worst case scenario.
It's going to be Geno Smith 1, 2 is going to be Klubnik, 3 Bradley Zappi. Those are your 3 you're rolling in next year.
Well, Brady Cook. You don't like Brady Cook anymore?
He's going to be on a practice squad.
What if someone picks him up?
No, let them deal with him. The hell with that. Oh. If they brought in Russell Wilson, most likely they're looking for a veteran to bring in.
I don't know, man. I'd much rather just roll with the season.
Their jobs, dude. They're one injury away from Geno Smith from that team just tanking again, and that offense not moving. So if it's
so be it,
then
so be it.
No, I get it. No, I'm sick of them losing, dude. Let Indy suck. Let the Cowboys suck. Let the Packers suck. I want to win.
What do you think Russell Wilson's going to do?
I know. I'm just saying. You'd be better than
Russell. No,
he's happy. We don't know what
Wilson would bring zero excitement to this fan base.
All right.
You would just it would be more exciting to see, does Klubnik have anything?
So if he does have something, what's going to happen now?
He's not going to. It won't be.
Let's say he came in and played like Jackson Dart did last year.
He's not coming in and playing like Jackson Dart.
First of all right, I don't know what everybody sees in Jackson Dart. Okay, he played well, but he didn't play not convincingly well. I don't think he's the man. He's 100% the guy. I mean, he's got a lot to prove still. First day on the field.
Of course, Tom. Every quarterback has a lot to prove.
Yeah, but I know that. But they're anointing this. They're anointing this kid like he's the next coming.
No one's anointing nothing. He was very.
Dom,
come on. If he did what he did last year for the Jets, you'd be anointing him and asking why he's not in the Hall of Fame already.
We went through this with Sam Darnold. You don't remember?
Yeah, you weren't anointing him anything.
I mean, we knew he was good.
Okay, and a lot of people believe Jackson Dart was going to be good. 4-year starter. You opened this whole conversation today. Oh, he checks all the Bill Parcells boxes. Jackson Dart checked all those boxes. He was like a 3-year starter at Ole Miss.
So let's say he comes in. Hold on. So let's say he comes in. He looks like a Jackson Dart next year. Okay, are you drafting a quarterback next year?
So Jackson Dart had a lot more tools than Cade Klubnik. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, wait, I just asked you a question. I'm not asking who's a better quarterback.
No, it depends what the Jets are picking, but he's not. Cade Klubnik is not stopping me from picking a quarterback next year.
But let's say they win. How many games did the Giants win this year?
What?
How many games did the Giants win with Jackson Dart this year? How many?
Like 3 or 4.
4 games. Let's say 5 games.
Okay, he missed a lot of time though, Dom.
No, I get it. So let's say it starts off with Geno. Okay, and let's say something happens to Geno. Cade comes in, and let's say he puts on a string of 4 or 5 wins, just as good as the Giants did last year. He looks good on the field. He ain't throwing interceptions left and right. He's doing okay. Now, does that stop you from drafting a quarterback next year?
No.
Right, that's my point. And that's the scary part of this Klubnik.
You're scared of Klubnik playing good?
Scared of Klubnik. No, I'm afraid that the Jets will put him in, and next thing you know, he has like 4 or 5 good games. And hopefully better. And if it's at the end of the season, oh boy, that's all we have to hear. But I don't think it's also stopping us from picking a quarterback next year, because you know what? We'll have 2 quarterbacks in the room, and we could trade one. That's it.
They're not going to put Klubnik in there, and because he wins 3 games,
loving, bro.
We don't need a quarterback anymore. We got Cade Klubnik, who we picked 110th overall. You're comparing complete different scenarios. The Giants traded up and drafted Dart, and then hired their next coach with the understanding that this is our guy.
We traded up to get Klubnik too.
Yeah, not into the first round.
Well, anyway, listen. Hopefully, it doesn't go down that route. So let's see. I want to win 10 games next year. Geno starts all 10 games, and we're good to go.
That's the way to roll about it. 2 minutes away, hopefully. I don't know. I mean, obviously, he's on another show at the moment, but you should be joining soon.
Did you find any of our mock drafts that were very close to what was drafted?
Honestly, I didn't touch my computer until about 3 hours ago. Okay. When I was trying to get this thing set up, I haven't really looked. I know we looked at it one episode. There was one that we picked Sadiq at 16, I think it was.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I think we picked CJ Allen later in the draft, and it was a whole shit show. But regardless,
I'm going to start our 2027 mock drafts. Want to start them now?
No. If you're watching, again, me and Dom joining in here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We got JetsCentral. We got Ian from JetsCentral joining up here in a few moments. He's wrapping up his show with Jets Talk Radio or Jets Live Talk Radio, whatever it's called. He'll be joining up shortly. I guess while he hops on, maybe he jumps in the middle of this. But second overall, we've been talking about it for weeks. The Arvell Reese versus David Bailey. A couple weeks ago, it started popping out. The Jets are going to go Bailey, aren't going Reese. And the pick finally came in, and they've gone with the proven pass rusher in David Bailey. Dom, give your thoughts.
I mean, I was shocked. I wasn't as shocked, but because there was always that rumble that David Bailey might be picked, right? I was totally expecting Arvell Reese here in that situation. I mean, I just like the whole prospect of Arvell Reese. You know, he offers so much to the table. Like he can become that next Micah. They were comparing him to Micah Parsons for a reason. He had that baby in him. You know what I'm saying? It's just us.
Like the greatest thing ever. Like that's just what they do.
But you get my point. You know, he was like that was his person in the NFL. Very similar type of style. You know. Now David Bailey, listen, a little older a prospect. 3 years it is, 3-year difference. You know, I mean, listen, the guy's
2 years.
The guy's a monster. I mean, we didn't go wrong with the pick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the guy is going to kill quarterbacks, and that's his job. Go out there and get the quarterback. Now, if Dunbar can coach him up just a bit with the run game, with the run stuffing, and do all that, I think we'd be happy with Bailey. And honestly, after 24, 48, 72 hours after the draft, I kind of see the whole vision that Aaron Glenn's trying to do, and I kind of love it, actually. I'm not hating it now.
Well, so the thing I'll say, you know, obviously he's a pass rush demon. He, you know, it's something to be said. He went to Stanford, graduated in 3 years. Something to be said about that. It's not easy to do. And, you know, and I said this months ago when we did one of our mock drafts. I think we mocked David Bailey just because we knew the conversation would be David Bailey, Arvell Reese, Ruben Bain up until the very, very end. Ruben Bain kind of really fell off of that conversation. It was just down to 2. But I always told you he's definitely not Arvell Reese in the run game. Arvell Reese is an absolute animal when it comes to the run game. David Bailey's got some prowess in the run game. He could be successful there. It's just a matter of, you know, can you take that next step and set the edge? That's what we like to do. Let me pause for a moment here. Everyone, I would like to introduce you to Ian from JetsCentral. He's joining up right now. Ian, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate you.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Glad to be here.
What's up, Ian? How you doing, bud? I watch your stuff all the time, man. You're awesome.
Dude, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm super excited with the draft and how everything went. I thought we killed it.
I think so, too. I totally agree with that.
So we went live around 7:30. We started with the back half of the draft. Figured by the time you got on here, we'd be approaching the front of the draft. So we both gave our opinions on David Bailey. So Arvell Reese, David Bailey, that was the conversation leading up into the draft. Tell us your thoughts, and leading up to it, what was your opinions on Arvell Reese versus David Bailey, and what was your reaction when it was officially David Bailey?
Yeah, dude. I mean, so I leaned Reese throughout the whole process, but you know, it wasn't one of those things where it was just like Reese and that's it, right? And David Bailey or Ruben Bain, all these guys are going to be terrible. It's kind of like, you know, picking between like your 2 favorite restaurants, you know, like if you don't go to your top one, you're going to your second favorite one. It's just like, okay, well, you're still getting like, you know, really good food, you know? So I think David Bailey was going to be a top 5 lock. And again, maybe not the direction that I would have gone in, but he's still a really, really good player, tons of talent. I think instantly he becomes the best pass rusher on the team. And I don't know, I think we overall just kind of have to move forward with it and just say, hey, he's a good prospect with a lot of talent. I mean, it does kind of suck that Reese went to the Giants, but you know, the draft's a weird thing. Yeah, the draft's a weird thing, and these guys are, you know, paid millions of dollars to figure this stuff out. So who knows how it all is going to play out. But I do think that Reese and Bailey are going to be like forever linked to each other.
So what did you do for the draft? You watch from your comfort of your own home? Were you out like with the?
No, yeah. So me and my brother were streaming. Yeah, me and my brother were streaming it. It was fun. It's kind of like a tradition. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, my other brother's a Giant fan, and
okay. He was rubbing it in.
So he's rubbing in the Arvell Reese. So now next year, for the next 10, 12 years, that's all we're going to hear about is like who was the better player at Giants.
Let's hope that's the conversation.
Oh, man.
If they're both playing 10 years from now, we're having that conversation. Well, that's a good conversation to be having.
Yep.
Jeez, man. That's just on the same turf. Oh, boy. That's all I got to say.
That's the one thing.
Yeah.
They change it for the soccer games. They don't want to change it for the football games, though.
Yeah, and you know, it was kind of weird hearing John Harbaugh say after the draft, he's just like, we were shocked that Reese is here. He's our best player on our board. I was just like, oh man, like it's kind of crazy. But no, I still think Bailey's I don't think we screwed up or, drafted a bust or anything like that with David. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table.
Yeah, same here. And
nastiness with him too.
The question with Arvell Reese, and this is where when I leaned on it, it was always like, okay, we never really addressed linebacker in free agency. We do need an edge player, and here you got a 2-for-1 right here. Let him learn the position, let him play off-ball linebacker, and then slowly kind of merge his way into an edge player. Now we have a big hole at linebacker, and this obviously still free agency. You got Okereke out there. There's options out there, but yeah, Bailey's a demon off the edge. Like him to improve his power in the run game, and if he can do that, it's every bit worth the second overall pick. You just can't have that Will McDonald experience where he's playing 20% of snaps, 30% of snaps. He's got to be up there 50% of snaps from day one as quickly as possible.
I mean, dude, if it was me, like I would let him learn. I would give him not necessarily every rep possible, but like if there's maybe moments where you do feel like Bailey could struggle in the running game, I would just keep him out there and just like let him grow, let him get those experiences out on tape and get some moments under his belt where he can look at afterwards with guys like Carl Dunbar and Brian Duker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brian Duker coming in from Miami worked with Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. Of course, was in Detroit, with working with Aaron Glenn. Carl Dunbar, former Jet, right? But he's been coaching like high quality defensive linemen for a long time, man. Like going back to Alabama, and then of course TJ Watt these past 4 or 5 seasons, having a key part in his development. Because it wasn't like TJ Watt was like this slam dunk sure thing coming out of Wisconsin.
Like there was concerns about him with his run support as well. He was a pass rusher primarily, and he turned into a defensive player of the year candidate. Actually, he won it one year, I think, with Pittsburgh, if I remember right. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. So right. So I think we have everything in place. We run a system that he fits. We have, I would say, good enough coaches to hopefully get him going in the right direction and maximizing his development over time. And then I also think too, man, like he's going to have some help. So one big knock with Bailey was like, yeah, he's really good, but he has so much help next to him. He has so much help behind him. Like the Texas Tech defense was loaded, but the Jets, honestly, like I feel like our defensive line is good enough to where they can support him, Tavondre Sweat and these guys coming in. So I'm excited.
Yeah, same here. And I think that was part of the reason why I thought it was more likely to be Arvell Reese, because the Jets really built that front with, multiple players, like players that could play multiple positions. Even Asai, he's primarily an edge player, but he can play a little bit of linebacker. So I thought that was like, kind of pinpointing that it could be Arvell Reese, because we don't know what he wants to be yet. But yeah, I agree. Like the way they built the front seven definitely looks like they're building it for a rookie to come in there and hopefully succeed from day one. And obviously, like you said, Carl Dunbar being there is a huge boost to that entire unit, which struggled very, very, very much last year in the run.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
It's definitely not a Will McDonald 2.0, I'll tell you that.
No.
Fair.
That got thrown out there a lot. He's actually like, he's bigger than Will McDonald coming out. He's faster than Will McDonald coming out. Will McDonald has the arm length. That spin move is lethal. So, I mean, that's second to none almost what Will McDonald can do there. But no, I never really thought this was a Will McDonald 2.0. I would just like to see his career start off in a much quicker trajectory. And then, continue with the draft. Obviously, we get to pick number 16. A lot of us thinking this is wide receiver spot. Mekhi Lemon's on the board. Kenyon Sadiq gets picked. So I was with my brother here for the day of the draft. And when the pick came in, I was immediately excited. I turned on like the, check the vibes on Twitter, see what's going on there. A lot of angry heads. They wanted the Mekhi Lemon pick. I get it. What were your reaction here? Did you like the tight end pick, or were you hoping they'd go receiver in this spot?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was thinking it was going to be Lemon, and then they pass, right? They go on they go with Sadiq, and I'm like, my first kind of reaction to it was, if the Jets view Sadiq and Lemon as both like primary slot players, Sadiq probably gives you a little bit more, right? He's definitely more athletic. He's definitely a lot bigger. And then you can move Sadiq around. Like you're not going to be putting Mekhi Lemon up as like an inline tight end, but you can do that with Sadiq. You can move Sadiq to fullback. He did a little bit of that at Oregon, even lining him up out wide. I don't think he's really limited in. Like, I mean, he's just an athletic freak, man. Like the combine testing was out of this world. I think his size is good enough. Obviously, he's not built like a Tony Gonzalez type of player, but 6'3" with an insanely high vertical jump at 43.5 inches, man. Like, I feel like, again, like the sky's the limit for him. So I'm excited with the selection here, and I do think he's going to add a lot of creativity. It seemed like Frank Reich really wanted him, which gives me more hope. Then they released the draft call, and it's just like, I guess we'll go with Sadiq, that type of thing. It felt like it was very like, we want this guy. We hope that he's here. We want him, and then they wound up with him. So yeah, cool with me.
Yeah, so I was thinking the same thing, especially with, like you said, you had Lemon out there. Listen, Lemon. How many people mocked Lemon to the Jets? The Jets just weren't in love with him. They were not in love with him, and that's just the bottom line. They're in love with Sadiq, though. Now, Sadiq, I kind of find very familiar, like very similar to Reese in a way, because like, what is he more? Is he inline? He's definitely not an inline tight end. Pile him out in the slot. He can run the Y. He could do it all. You know what I'm saying? Just like Frank has got to be very, very creative with this kid, and I think he will do very good things with him. And that's the hope,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and when whenever a tight end is picked, that's like dubbed as a pass catching tight end, the first thing you like to hear, or that always comes out, is, oh well, he's gonna have to produce in the run game, and that's not the case here with Sadiq. I mean, is he the best run blocker? No, but he does enough to get messy in the run game where it's not going to be a major learning curve like it has been with other players in the past. It's something that he can come in right away and definitely produce in the run game as well as just be a demon in the secondary. And that's where these like matchups come in handy, because a lot of times when there is a player that's not that good in the run, they'll usually just pair him up with a DB and say, okay, can you beat a DB? Which he can do, but he'll definitely annihilate linebackers in coverage, which is a big boost there. The Jets don't get a receiver at 16. Those a lot of I understand the frustration, but they turn around and do some magic at 30. But yeah, you have something to say?
No, I was gonna say, I think something that's important to always kind of think about is like all these NFL superstars, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, all of them had issues. All of them had red flags and stuff coming out of college. So, to look at a guy in Kenyon Sadiq and say like, oh, maybe he's a little raw, or he's not the best blocker in the world. It's just like, okay, it's not like whatever. Like, he's the 16th overall pick. He has room to grow. Everyone else has room to grow. No, but these guys don't have to be the perfect A+ prospect where they don't have one concern, one issue, one weakness. And so, I mean, when I look at the quote unquote concerns for Sadiq, I'm like, dude, we can work with this. Like, we can get really, really creative. But you brought up the wide receiver pick, man, Omar Cooper. And it's crazy because, much like you were saying before, Dom, like there were so many mocks with us going with Lemon. There were a lot of mocks with us going with Cooper at 16, and we come back and we get him at 30, and all we had to do was give up a 5th round comp pick, So super. I was blown away. I mean, we gave up more to move up in the 4th round than we did going from 33 to 30. Crazy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Overall, like, I mean, the way Mougey worked the board, like I was talking about it, like we get pick 179 to move up to 3 spots from 33 to 30, and then we were able to acquire pick 128. So we jumped up 50 spots in that trade back from the 44 to 50. So, and then obviously end up trading at 128 anyway in the Klubnik move. But the Omar Cooper thing, jumping up ahead of the Bills. I don't know 100% if the Bills were eyeing Cooper because they already traded back with the Patriots. I feel like they would have picked him right there if they were that high on him, but surprised they didn't. That team is desperate for like an elite number 1 wide receiver to go out there. Not saying Cooper is that, but they definitely need that.
Yeah, I'm not really buying Right. Yeah, I'm not really buying those rumors either because like in a lot of mock drafts, like you would see Cooper being linked to the 49ers and like how much they supposedly, really wanted a wide receiver. I mean, they ended up going with Stribling at 33, which is kind of a crazy pick
Kind of
at the
crazy when they
time.
had Cooper on the board for them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, man, like if you were the Bills and you were actually really wanting Omar Cooper, I don't think you would have traded back and you would have took the gamble of San Francisco taking him, So I think that's just kind of like maybe a little hyped up storyline, but just a guess.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Scoring touchdowns for the Bills down the road. You could have had him. I'll take that
Is this
storyline.
guy more of a boundary guy or more of it? Like, is he more of like the inside, like that slot guy though?
John Cooper?
Inside. I would say inside. You do a little bit of both, but inside primarily.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
this past season he did a lot more of the inside stuff with Indiana because they had Surratt on the outside and then Charlie Becker down the road. He was also playing the outside. So he did a lot more of the inside stuff this year, but he's done a lot of outside stuff back in 2024. So again, he can do it all, but I think he's most effective as your inside guy, which makes this offense so much more harder to game plan for because you have Garrett Wilson can play inside and out. You got Cooper can play inside and out. Sadiq can play
anywhere.
Off of Mason Taylor and in the slot. It's just
he might be
crazy thing the Jets have more than one player to be scared of on Sundays.
Yeah, dude, it's refreshing. It definitely feels weird to think about, right? Like, because I've seen a couple arguments where it's just like, oh, like there's too many mouths to feed now. But I'm like, no, we've had a target issue for such a long time. I would much rather be sitting here after the draft complaining about having too many pass catchers than not enough.
Right. I mean, too many mouths. I mean, aren't we all Jet fans? When was the last dude? I've never had more than two people on the same team. I mean, last year, dude, like Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. That's all it was for the last few years. But I mean, before then, I mean, maybe in 15 when you had Decker and Marshall. That was the last nicest thing I've ever seen in my life. But after that, man, was miserable.
I was gonna say, I mean, like obviously these guys have a lot to prove still, but like this is probably the most offensive firepower we've had on paper since Decker. I mean, I know we had Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson for a short stretch, last year a couple years ago with Rodgers, but as far as the full season is concerned, it's probably looking to shape out to be the most firepower we've had on offense in a long time.
Only cross our fingers, dude, and hope.
Yeah. Well,
yep, totally.
I mean, it's still on paper at this point. But then we talked about a little bit the trade back from 44 to 50, D'Angelo Pons, a fan favorite already for many Jet fans. They go out there, get small corner, but he's small, but he plays with an attitude. Tell me your thoughts on D'Angelo Pons when the Jets were able to kind of nab him at 50.
Yeah, well, funny enough, he was actually him and Omar Cooper. I felt like were mocked to the Jets over and over and over, but there were mock drafts with us just taking him at 33 or 44. So for us to move back, still get our guy. I mean, dude, honestly, when we were sitting there at 50, I thought we were going to be getting McNeil Warren because he was on the board from Toledo. But no, we go with Pons, and I'm cool with it, right? Like if Aaron Glenn loves him, he could play on the inside or on the outside, coming off a fantastic season, and another just combine freak show. His vertical jump, his 40, or the 40, of course, was at his pro day, not the combine. But I mean, just an unbelievable athlete. Which again, I don't think, I think if you're the Jets, you have two issues. You have a talent issue and you have a depth issue. And I think D'Angelo Pons comes in and checks both of those, right? He pushes everyone down a slot as well as providing a ton of talent. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Pons.
Yeah, I love this pick too. I was like, because we were mocking him all the time. And then, watching that first pass from Dante last year and then right into Pons' hand. You know what? And then the whole thing comparing him to Aaron Glenn, I see a little bit of that feistiness that he has in him. I mean, hey, listen, if he becomes an Aaron Glenn, man, I think we'll be all extremely pleased with this kind of player because he was awesome for the Jets. But yeah, love the pick at 50. Same here, man.
And the key here with Pons, he's a little bit of a ball hawk. As small as he is, he gets his hands on the ball. He brings it down when his hands do touch the ball. That's a major thing the Jets were lacking over the last few years, especially last year, bringing in those interceptions. Again, another player that, like, when you look at his size, immediately like, okay, can he provide run support? He's one of the highest graded defensive backs in run support. I think he's in like the 80th percentile for defensive backs with that small stature of 5'8" and what is he, like 188 or something like that. He's definitely a small frame, but the guy packs a punch. Aaron Glenn looked like he wanted to cry when they were showing that. Looked like there was a tear dropping down, whatever, when he saw that. But no, it was an exciting pick. Top 40, obviously, all nothing to be disappointed about there. Ian, anything else to add on like the first 4 picks? I know we talked about me and my brother at least talked about the last 4 picks.
So I see the title A-. I'm right there with you. B+, A-. Just kind of I don't really feel like we reached at all. I mean, maybe with Klubnik, but kind of an outlier because it's a quarterback and we don't know the conversations maybe behind the scenes. Like if I mean, Nussmeier went round 7, that was not expected, So if Frank was behind the scenes pounding on the table, like, this is my guy, I would much rather work with him over like Taylon Green or somebody, Nussmeier. More in the Texas Tech quarterback who ended up getting drafted before Nuss. Like, who am I to push back and argue with it? If this is the guy that Frank Reich wants. I mean, they traded up for him, which I think shows, some level of confidence that they really wanted this guy. But overall, like, VJ Payne later on, like there were a lot of picks where I'm like, hey, you know what? We're attacking positions of need. We're not really reaching on players. I don't really feel. I mean, there were a couple bad drafts by some team like Jacksonville. Didn't really like what they did. The 49ers, I felt like couple other Steelers, I felt like was a little all over the place. But no, the Jets, I feel like consistently across the board, just a top 5 draft.
Yeah, I think most analysts that cover the draft had the Jets a B- or above. I think there was one I saw that was a C- or whatever, which I don't know how you really grade it a C-.
They didn't like the Bailey pick and the Sadiq pick. That's what it was.
I mean, I guess that could be it. But yeah, again, overall, just a solid draft. Really, the only pick I can say they really reached on was a Klubnik one because you're going 100 picks above. But again, like you were saying, Ian, it could really be just
Frank wanted them.
Yeah, they wanted them, and we'll see where it goes from there. It'll make preseason games exciting. I'll tell you that because we got something to watch. Geno probably won't play much. It'll be Klubnik's show, Klubnik's club from day one. But yeah, I mean, overall exciting draft. I think the Jets did exactly what they needed to do. Bring in at least 4 starters. I think they hit that. Darryl Jackson, maybe he can be a rotational defensive lineman. I thought that was a strong pickup there. Cade Klubnik, if he turns into a career backup, I think that would be outstanding for the range they got him. Again, worst case scenario. I mean, we've seen this team do a lot worse with 4th and 5th round picks, burning them on fire, and the success rate on those is very, very minimal anyway. So I think overall, you can't leave this draft and think the Jets didn't hit out of the park. We'll see what these players do, but solid draft.
I got a question. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a question for you. Do you think the Jets attack free agency at any other like depth, like let's say another quarterback or another receiver, linebacker? Do you think they're going to attack that before the season starts?
Yeah. Well, there was the report about Russell Wilson that came out today, so we'll see what happens there with QB2. But yeah, I mean, it should be interesting. I got to read. I got to take a look at the free agents that are still out there. It kind of feels like there's a lot of players that are either going to be too expensive or there's some major concern. But I think the window just opened up to where you can sign players and you don't have, the comp picks they're not impacted. Cool. So
right. That's June 1st that window opens up.
Okay. Got you.
Once that June 1st hits, then that's when you can start doing that.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. I think we'll probably maybe bring one more guy in, assuming nobody gets hurt. If someone gets hurt, then obviously,
Sure. I know next week, rookie free was it rookie minicamp starts next week?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, rookie minicamp next week. The players are already at for the voluntary portion of the offseason workout program. That started like a week and a half ago, I think it was. So they're out there already, and then rookies will join them shortly.
Now we're going to go through like 2.5 months of silence.
Mhm.
You know what? Just get prepared mentally.
Dog days.
Oh,
Dane, I don't know if you've worked with Dane at all. Wants to know what is Ian playing on PS5 these days?
Dude, I don't have PS5, man. I want a PS5, but they're just they went up in price, man. They're expensive.
PS5.
Yeah, no, I want one. I was actually
Yeah,
I was
I
at
have one here
Walmart.
somewhere. There it is.
Yeah, I saw it before.
Yeah. I don't even play anymore. I used to play a lot more, but it's like, who's got the time anymore? You know?
Mm. Yeah, dude. Well, they bumped up the prices like crazy. I think they're like $600-700 now. So
Get out of here! Wow, that's
yeah, they're
nuts.
more expensive now than they were back when they first
I
dropped.
paid mine. I think it was like $4.59,
Yeah, it's a good price.
and it came with a game and a controller. I was like, all right,
If you're not playing anymore, Dom, you need to sell that thing.
yeah. No, I still play. The kids come over, I let them play.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
All right, well,
Cool, guys.
yeah. So, Ian, again, awesome having you on the show. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks.
Joining us here.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
know you're in the Florida. You're in the Tampa, Florida area. We actually I'm over here in the Palm Bay area. Dom over here lives down in Delray.
Oh, cool.
We got to get to like a big Florida meet, man. Everybody does it
Yeah,
up north. We don't do anything down here. We
Yeah,
got a lot of Jet fans down here, man.
That'd
Well,
be
we went
that'd
to
be fun.
We went to that thing down your way, Dom. That South Florida
over
Jet
in
Fan
Lake
Club,
Worth.
I think it was.
Yeah, man. This place had about close to about 80 to 100 Jet fans there, man. We bowled that place. That was week 1. We went there week 2.
Oh, no, I
week
came
1.
week
Yeah, I
2.
went week
That was
1. That was
terrible.
great. I mean, listen, they
Yeah,
lost.
that was terrible.
And week 2, everything started going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every week, less and less Jet fans are showing up. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. Mock
for
drafts
sure.
by Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Let's hope not. Well, this year we'll be able to do mock drafts at Halloween, but hopefully it'll be because the Colts and Cowboys and Packers are all bombing out this season, and we're on a playoff run. That would be outstanding. But tall ask, but it'd be awesome if the Jets can do that. Ian, great appearance. I 100% agree. Appreciate you for joining. Awesome having you on, especially you're going back-to-back shows right now. I know you're on the Jets Talk Radio and jump around our show, so I appreciate you. Don't want to take up too much more of your time. It's been a long night for you, 100%. But again, thank you for joining, and I'll give you a couple minutes to shout out your channel or anything you have going on.
Yeah. So run a YouTube channel called JetsCentral. Basically doing what you guys are doing. And yeah, man, I'm excited for the season. There's some like smaller like updates and stuff that I'm looking forward to with like the rookie mini camp and whatnot. But overall, like training camp can't get here soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. I
agree.
Same, man.
Yeah.
All right, Ian.
Cool,
Thank
guys.
you for joining.
I appreciate it.
So
Appreciate you.
See you guys.
Take care.
All right. And then there were 2.
Oh, Sadiq. What's up, Dano?
Yeah, Dane and I got to experience the Klubnik pick together.
You guys are going off. You guys
my
doing
God.
cartwheels, weren't you?
Not really.
I'll tell you, he's got a cool name though. You got to give him that. Cade Klubnik. Come on, we're going clubbing.
Again, I'll say he'll at the very least make preseason entertaining, and that's the other reason too. Like, I guess regardless, he'll be seeing backups.
He's gonna be playing like 2
I don't want it to be that thing where he's coming in against like in the fourth quarter against like first string garbage.
Guard him
in the preseason. Well, they probably will.
I'm going to give Geno like 1 or 2 drives and then let him play the rest of the game. I don't want to see Bradley Zappi. I'd rather see this kid play the whole game. Dude, if this kid lights everything up on fire in the preseason, he's starting week 1.
No, he's not. He's not starting week 1. They already said Geno's a starter.
I know. Again, I think it was dumb to do that. But anyways, did he learn his lesson from last year?
Massive pull.
Oh,
yeah. No, Ian was great enough to grace us with his presence. I really appreciate him joining the show. I'm working it, Dane. I'm working it.
We're getting Donald Trump soon.
He's enjoying our show from the White House at the UFC event.
Buddy, at the Oval Office.
At the UFC event.
That's insane.
Him and Dana White.
Oh my God.
We're gonna have 4 boxes. Me, you, Trump, and Dana White.
Oh God.
Working at Ben and Sierra.
Dude, was it me? Is Milano still a free agent?
He is. I saw a list earlier today of like key players at key positions. Let me see if I can find it really quick.
Dude, that would be pretty. Let me tell you something. That would be nice to pluck him away from Buffalo, but I don't think that's going to happen. He'll come back.
I don't think so. I think he's also,
1 year, too. 1 year. That's what you need.
I get it, but
that'd be a good rotation. Him, Milano, and Demario Davis. Come on. And with Sherwood. Sherwood's a bum anyway. Hopefully, he turn it around this year though. We'll see what they
Sherwood.
Can do. Yeah.
Well,
I'm hoping for a better Sherwood this year.
So I think here's my thing on Sherwood. I think putting him in a position last year where he had to be the guy organizing the defense was way too much for him. I think that was definitely he couldn't handle that. So I think now that he's got that pressure off him, what's up?
Didn't he do it towards the end of that season where he got paid the big bucks? Like, didn't Mosley go down like 7 or 8 weeks before and they gave him the mic anyway? So he was doing it, but also he was doing it familiar with Salah's defense. When Aaron Glenn took over, a whole different defense. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a lot of different things.
The reason behind that, though, is Aaron Glenn, you got to have some intelligence playing his defense. Like, you can't just be some idiot off the street. You got to kind of have some intelligence. You got to know what you're doing. Salah's defense and Ulbricht's defense is more read and attack because all you're doing is just playing your zone. Whereas in Aaron Glenn's defense or whatever, Steve Wilkes' variation of Aaron Glenn's defense, you got to have some intelligence. Know what you're doing. Get players in the right position at all times. When Mosley was there, it made life so much easier. And even when he wasn't there, like, he was still kind of in the meeting rooms, able to get him through. This is the first year he was without Mosley 100%, right? Because Mosley,
he was retired this year.
He retired this year, right? Well, last year, I mean.
Yeah. So he didn't play with him at all this year.
Why is it not showing me who's
the remaining free agents?
Oh, there you go, available. All right. I mean,
there's quite a few.
Obviously, a lot of names that aren't going to come here. Yeah. Hold on, let me share my screen and.
I'll tell you, what's that kid? Tim Patrick is still out there, right? Receiver from Denver.
Who?
Patrick. He has ties with Denver. Yeah, Tim Patrick. That might be a guy that they may bring in, as a fourth. Why not? Yeah, he's out there right there. Boom.
I guess,
yeah. Really nothing. He's got some experience. I mean, listen, we're not telling him to come in here to be a number one. You know what I'm saying? But to bring some, now you have, what's his name?
Isaiah comes here?
Who? No. 1, 2, 3. Curtis Samuel. I play with Curtis Samuel. No problem.
Nah.
Keenan Allen, I would throw something at, but he ain't gonna come here.
He's not gonna come here. He's 34 years old. What the hell's he gonna do over here?
Bro, Josh Reynolds. Again,
we had him last year.
Yeah, but I'm more on the Tim Patrick.
Yeah, last year. He was garbage.
No, I know, but I'm more on the Tim Patrick train, bringing him for a year, and that's it. I mean, what the heck? Is that Pettis? He's out there? That's the guy from the 49ers, right?
Where did you see him?
Right there. One more up. Above Brandon Cooks. Oh, he was on the Saints.
He's not the same Pettis he once was. He's
not as good as he was. Tyler Lockett, I would love to bring in for a 1-year deal.
Yeah, Braxton Berrios. Could bring Braxton Berrios back.
Why not? I'll bring him back for 1 year.
See, I don't know. Like,
maybe another one there.
When I look at these receivers, like, what?
You're one injury away from having Arian Smith as your starter. You know what I'm saying?
No.
What do you mean no?
Yeah, and I Mitchell, you got Omar Cooper, you got Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Even Isaiah what was the kick return? What?
1 inch. I mean, I honestly probably lean more. If it were me, I mean, even Sterling Shepard, man, he's another player I wouldn't mind bringing him in as like I said, this is a fourth receiver for us. He'd be number 4.
I take Sterling Shepard out of all these guys.
I do like Sterling.
I know he's older still too, and obviously a player that battles injuries. Like if you're worried about injuries, bringing Arian Smith to the fold, it's obviously a little concerning. But I would take Sterling Shepard because when he is healthy, he can give you something on the outside.
He does. I mean, he had some good years with the Giants.
Linebacker is really the next situation I really see. Maybe we just go out there with the oldest linebacking unit and bring Bobby Wagner in as well. No.
But on this list,
or Levante David
still out there.
It's no, it's still available. Yeah.
Devin Bush.
Who?
Devin Bush.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I thought he got signed. No, he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless they're lying to us.
I mean, I wouldn't mind bringing him in.
And then he had a solid year last year, I thought.
He did. Yeah, he did. He might have maybe an injury or something like that. I don't know. I'm surprised he's not signed.
I mean, obviously, like whoever's available on April 28th.
27 years old. He's gonna be 28 starting next year.
I had to rip a 20. Dane, I already did. I already messed up. I'm surprised they had it up and rolling. Like they have to. They have to.
Did they really?
Over.
Oh, I seen it. I seen that when you did. That was pretty funny.
I sent you one. The only thing that's annoying about it is, and I figured out a way around it. But the only thing that's annoying about it is, it doesn't let you. It doesn't let you pick the Jets with 3 draft picks in the first round.
Why not?
Because
technically
there's a stipulation that it's either the Packers or the Dallas pick.
What about the Colts?
The Colts you have 2. Yeah, you have the Colts pick.
Okay. But that other one, you don't know which one's
the other one, because that stipulation of it could be either Dallas or the Colts, Dallas or Green Bay, it doesn't automatically do it. But you can go into it and just force a trade, and it'll let you do whatever you gotta do.
I tell you, if the Jets could figure out a way to win 8, 9 games, even 10 games next year, and have all those other 3 teams suck balls next year, I would be the happiest Jet fan alive. You know what I'm saying?
You know what we need? We need the Packers to suck. I think this will get the stink out. The Packers suck. They get us the first overall pick, and they finally give us our franchise savior after 3 times. 3rd time's a charm. The Packers finally give us our savior.
Now, the only way the Packers would stink is, I mean, knock on wood, I don't want nothing like that to happen, but if they had like some major injuries on that team, I mean, it's going to start with the quarterback. That's number 1. But that's the only way they would stink. Because I see them anywhere between 8 to 11 wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough division, man. You got 3 good teams there, too. I think Minnesota is going to flake out.
Melifon was still a free agent, too. That's a weird one.
That's what I'm saying, dude. There's players here. I mean, listen, now that the draft is over, there you go. You know, now you can fill your needs through the rest of free agency.
Jordan Poyer. Just bring all the Bills cast-offs.
No, he's like 36.
Matt Milano, Jordan Poyer.
5. I like Milano, though. But he gets hurt a lot, too, that kid.
Yeah. I mean, out of all the players like that we looked at right now, like the receivers don't really give you anything to be excited about, nor would you really expect them to. The good receivers don't really make it out. I mean, I go with Bobby Okereke. That would be probably where I go. Still young enough, still play.
Who, Bobby Okereke?
Okereke.
Oh, he's looking for 12, 13 mil. They got to pay that kind of money.
Well, he's not looking for 12, 13 million anymore.
I'm telling you.
Not on April 28th. He's looking at anything.
You're looking for a 3.
I get around 7, 8 million.
That's not bad. Anybody from what did Devin Bush? He came out of Cleveland?
He didn't start in Cleveland. Where did he originally start? And then he went to Cleveland last year.
Jacksonville? No, it's
I'm
Chicago.
confused now. Oh no, yeah, he did sign. This is stupid.
Yeah, that's all bull. That's not a good list we're looking at, dude.
Come on, Spot Track. What the heck are you doing? It says available. Anyway, so we don't know who's. I know Bobby Okereke is available. I do know that, but I don't know what this freaking thing is doing over here.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
It says unrestricted free agent.
Nah, this is
anyway. It is what it is.
Let's go Knicks. All right, bro.
29-20 as we're closing out the first quarter, about a minute and a half left.
We're up by 9?
Knicks are up by 9, yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Hit that like button.
It was a lot of fun. Jets won the draft, but they did an outstanding job sticking to their board. Again, we can gripe and moan about day 3 picks and Cade Klubnik and whatever have you, but at the end of the day, at best case scenario, one of those 3 4th round picks are going to work out, and hopefully Cade Klubnik is that guy, but I don't think so. I think best case scenario, Darrell Jackson is our guy. But let's go Knicks. We're gonna hop on.
Let's go Knicks.
Everyone, appreciate you joining. Hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Go over to Ian's channel, hit that like button, subscribe to his as well. Able to join us on a night where he had other shows going on, so definitely taking the time to come on here.
We're like a big family.
They've all been showing up.
Yeah,
they've all been showing up. We've only had a few that haven't been able to make it yet, and obviously some that just ghosted, but it happens.
It's all good.
Peter Dinklage.
There you go.
as Dane referred. Anyway, a lot of fun here. Murph, appreciate it. He's also on Dane's channel, so you got awesome. We gotta get you introduced to Dane and actually Murph, you already met Dane. But Murph, appreciate you for joining up here again. Everyone, thank you for joining. Have a good night. And let's go Jets.